Hello, darling. It is Jennifer from the patio coming to you today, this a beautiful Friday, with some projects for my Bubblegum Christmas journal. So, I have put together all of the signatures. There are 5 signatures. I'm not sure I'm going to keep 5, but I'm thinking that I probably will. And then I believe I have 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5. I have 5 pages in each one, so that's 25 total. So that's like a, I don't know, that's a lot of pages to journal on. But we also means we have to have a lot of ephemera to go in here. So let me show you. I have already cut out all the ephemera. This is all that came with the kit. And so, you know, this is just the pockets and the doodads and the whatevers, all the tags and stuff like that. But we're not going to put this in yet because there's some pieces that I would like to make outside of this. And I want to do all of those first so that we have everything done. And then I'll put my ephemera in. So first thing I want to do is I want to make a pocket out of a envelope, a windowed envelope to be specific, not just an envelope, but a windowed one. And so that's what we're going to do. So what I'm thinking is I would like to have, this one is double-sided. I'm going to make a tag out of this because I really like that pink. And then on this, I'm going to put this picture in the back. So when we pull the tag out, you'll see this. And then I have some different stuff that I can trim and you know, do whatever. So the first thing I'm going to do is I noticed this one was already glued shut. So I'm not sure if I want to just leave it that way. And I think I'm going to. Okay, so I think what I want to do is I really want it to be like 7.5 or so in height. And then I'm going to fold this part down. And I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I've cut it at about 7.5 in height. And then what I want to do is I want to trim the edges. And I'm just going to use, because I want them to be even, so I'm going to use my little tag notch trimmer here so that I can get them to be the same. So I'm just going to cut into both layers. And I guess I can show you what it is that I'm saying. I know you all of you know what I'm doing, but I want to make one of these that just, it's out of an envelope. We'll decorate it, and then we'll have a tag that goes inside of it decorated. And then the way I put it on the page, which we won't do today, but it'll make it so I can put another you know, journaling card or something in there. So that is what we are making. So I'm going to flip that over, and then I'm going to cut this corner off. So how are you doing today? I hope you're doing good. So I'm just going to take this flap in the front and I'm just going to fold it down so that it is even. Let me look. This needs to come down just a hair because I want it even. And maybe it's just not even on the top. No, it is. This one needs to come down a little bit more. I'll just cut it just a hair. Okay, so I want that to come down like that. And then that way this is open. And so now what I want to do is I need to cut the piece that's going to go inside of here. And like I say, I'm going to use this. So I want the candy cane. So I'm going to measure this envelope. So it is a little, about 4, it's between 4 it looks like 1/16 is, or 1/8. 4 1/8 is what it is. So I'm going to do mine at 4. And let's just get that taken care of. So we'll cut that at 4. Let me make sure. Yes, I'm in frame. So we'll cut that at 4. And then it looked like I can cut to this line. So let's see where we are here. So that looks good. Okay, so if I want it to be like this, then I'm going to cut, I want it to stick out a little bit, about right there above. So we'll cut that off. Hope you're doing good today. Hope you're going to have a great weekend. Not really sure what I'm going to be doing, but I'm sure it's going to be fun. So if I slip this in like that, let's just make sure that's where we want it. Yes, that looks good. So see, when I pull this one out, you're going to see that. I like that. Okay. So I'm going to put a little glue on it, and then when I stick it in, it'll stick to the back. So do I want to use, I just filled up my Lineco bottle, so we will just use that. Okay, so I just want it enough to stick. I love making ephemera. I mean, I like making it on the computer and just having ephemera, but I also like to make different things out of, you know, things that I have around the house. So, well, hello, Bubba. So I'm going to push it in like that, all the way down. And then I'm going to press down, and there we go. And it's going to be stuck to the back. I got me a new Teflon bowl folder, which I'm very excited about because mine has disappeared. Don't ask me where it is because I don't know. But that's okay. So I was using this one, but it left marks on the black cardstock, I noticed. And I do love this one just to be able to use because it's big. But so I was like, I went ahead and got me a Teflon one. Okay, so there's that. And then let's go ahead and make our tag, and then that'll be done. The one that we're going to put inside of it. So let's do the tag at about 3 3/4 maybe, because it's 4. And that fit perfectly. So let's do 3 3/4. Yeah, I think that, let me measure the window because I want to make sure. Yeah, that's only a 3 1/4. So if we do 3 3/4, or maybe just a hair bigger, that should do it. And then I want it to be, we cut this at 7 1/2, so I think I kind of want it to be maybe 7, right? So let's cut off this portion. So if we do it at 7, it'll take it there. So when we put it in, yeah, that'll be good. And it's sticking out just enough. Okay, so we'll put those aside because we might be able to use that. And when you're cutting, if you or you know, if you bought the kit, and you know, no pressure, nothing, you know, I hate to even mention it because a lot of times, you know, you're using your own thing, and I hope you are, but I'm just making something out of the kit that I just came out with. So I was gonna say, I think I'm just gonna do one of these on the corners. And then that way, yeah, that looks good. That way when it sticks up here, Yes, that's going to look good. I could have done it a little bit taller, but I am okay with that. I could take a sliver off the top of these just so that it's not so high, but I mean, it's okay, and I don't have to have it go all the way down. I think I may definitely put a grommet or something in the top so I can put some cute pink ribbon up there. Okay, so now that is done. So I'm going to take this out because I think what I want to do is I want to back this with some, you got it, some file folder, because that's my jam. That's what I like to use. I like to use coffee dyed paper, but I also like to use, it's so sturdy, and so I like that. So let me just do that real quick, and we'll just back this tag. And now I'm using Art. I don't know how he got in my hand. Art, how did you get in my hand? But he's doing good. He's flowing well, so let's... So you're gonna have a tag that is about, 7.5 by 3 3/4. That's going to go in your envelope. If your envelope is at least 4 inches wide. So you'll have to measure, but some of these are pretty standard, and so, you know, we kind of have to go, oh, is it a standard envelope? If so, well, then it's this. Let me push it towards that. Okay. Bone folder. Squish out that. I could do a little trim on that. Okay, so let me set that aside, and while it's drying, we will take care of the decorating here. Okay, so what I want to do is, when I was cutting all of my pieces, all of my ephemera out, you know, I had the backs cut. So, I mean, the backs had backing. And so I thought, oh, okay, I'm going to keep all the strips because I definitely can use these. And so I have stripes and pinks, and I'm looking for some skinny ones. Here's some. Let's see what I have here that we can use. This one actually looks like a good stripe right there. And here's one that would fit, and it's going the opposite direction, but I like it. I think that looks good. Let's see what this one is. Ooh, dots. Okay, well, that one's not as long. That one's... And I have this one. This is dots. Okay, this one looks like it will definitely fit here perfectly. Okay, so let's do that first. So let me get my pencil, and I'll mark right there. I think I'm just going to cut it. I don't even need to get Tim out. I'm just going to cut it. And then I'll just take that little pencil mark off. And then I'll put it right there. And I am not inking this one. I thought about it, and then I was like, you know what? I really like I like them just the way they are. And so I didn't want to ink. And so I didn't ink any of my pages. I haven't inked any of my ephemera. So I think for this kit, I'm not going to ink. And I'm okay with that. So, just so you know, I will not be inking, and that's probably a good thing, because then it won't waste so much time on camera. So let's get this down, and that is going to be right on the edge, and that's going to be just right. Okay, so there's that. And then we could actually use these that match. So I have one we could put here and one here. So I want them the same size. So let's, and height. So let me see what we have here. And then I will make sure that they're the same height. And then I'm going to have to cut them because I want it to come right up to the edge. So that's about right there, and that's about right here. So let me see if I can put these both in my cutter and do them at the same time. Can we do it? We shall see. Get over. You gotta get your nail in there. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I should just go in from the outside. Let me see how that works. Nope. Look, I'm trying to save time, or trying to save a step, but it just doesn't look like it's gonna work. I can barely get this one in. Okay, so this is going to go about right there, and that one's going to go about right there. Not quite. Come on. Better. That is better. Now let me mark this one and see if I can get it in there. That's the thing about these little ones. These little pieces, sometimes you really do need. And I looked at, you know, that's Prime Days, Amazon Prime Day, and so I was looking, and they had a Tim Holtz one that was on sale. And I may end up getting it because it's still Prime Days, so. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay, so I want one on this side. Yes, that's going to be fine. Okay, so I want one on one side and one on the other. Because, you know, sometimes you just need a trimmer. You don't. And I don't trust myself all the time to make a straight line. There you go. So it's nice just to have like a little trimmer or something. But yes, I am excited about making all the ephemera and just different fun stuff for this journal that I'm making. And it's my Christmas in July journal. Take that off. And that. Okay. And then we're going to need a piece that's big enough to go up here. And if this goes down, it needs to be a little bit bigger. And I don't really have, I have this one. Oh, this one works good. Oh, that's going to be just right. Yeah, because when that goes down, you're not going to be able to see it. I might even be able to fold it down a little bit more than what it's folded. Okay, so that's going to go to about here. Yeah, it's going to cover up those things, but I am okay with that. Okay. And of course, I'll put the stripes down because that way we can see them. And then I'll just cut that and fold those down to meet it. Okay. Got that. Is my head in the camera? Hope not. There. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut these sides down just a hair. First I got to put in my little stick from the glue. Okay, and then let's just... Okay, I went ahead and cut down the little sides so that I have a little bit more space when I folded it down. So here's what I was thinking. I got a couple of cute little... I just cut a circle out of a leftover piece of paper. And then I have this one that says Frosted with Love. And so I started digging for maybe some hearts. I have some hearts. And I have these. I think this pink is a little dull for it. I mean, it kind of matches, but I kind of like this white one. Because it says love, and so I wanted to put something that, you know, kind of like with a brad or something. And I definitely am going to use some ink on that because it's black and it'll stand out a little bit better. This is black and this is walnut. You have to check them to see which one's which. Okay, so let me just put a little bit of ink on this. I think it'll kind of pop a little bit more, a little better, if you will, with that white, if we have it. And the black kind of will match this up here. Okay, so let me put that on. Okay, so we have this, and I want it to... you know, have some contrast here. So let's just put it like, maybe like that. And keep the white down here. You're not really going to see it much anyway. So this is where I don't want it. So let's put it where I do want it. So I'm going to put it all around here. Don't really need a whole lot. And then I'm just going to put it right here in the corner. Right there. And then I think I'm gonna stick this in here. And it needs to be, this one's a little, it's not centered, which is okay. It kind of gives us that little, and I'm okay with just punching it in there. There it goes. I think it's over just a little too much. Frosted with Love. Might need to go over just a hair. Just a little hair. Let me see if I can find something to punch over a little bit. There. And then let me fold it down on the paper, and then we will put it like this, because I don't know if that'll stick down or not, but I know this paper will. So let me get the old trusted Fabri-Tac, because this stuff will stick to anything. So let's see, and I don't want it, I want it, oh, wrong end. I want it on the bottom. And then I want it on that. Okay. So it's gonna go like about right there. Yeah, I like it. It's going to pop up a little bit, but I think that's cute. I like it. It is cute. Have this little, let me kind of hold it down for that to dry. Yeah, I like it. It just takes a minute for that to dry. I kind of like this the way it is. I like that there's black with black, and then all the black outlining. And then you know that this is an envelope. Not that you couldn't tell from that, but, you know, I kind of like it. But I don't know. I kind of like it like that. So I'm just going to glue it down. I'm going to glue it down right there. And if I want to later to cover it, I can. But I kind of like that look of, like, hey, we're using a junk mail envelope. And isn't that cool? And I have just cut the edges just to be able to fold it down just a little bit more. Let me get this one little bit right here. Hold that down as I'm going. Okay. Okay, so there's that. And then we just need to get the tag and cut this out. And we shall be on our way. So I'm going to do that. I'm kind of nervous because my husband is on the roof. And I'm glad he's doing it while I'm home. But I just still don't like him to be on the roof. But there was a tree limb that was hanging on our house. And, you know, with the winds. And it's that, you know, it's that time of year here in Texas. And so you want to get all of that off your house. And there's a gentleman that comes and mows the neighbor's yard, and he trimmed all of my crepe myrtles in February, and I was going to get him to do it because he's a younger fella than me and my husband are, but my husband got up there too quickly. So anywho, but I hear him, he's down now, and he's cutting the branches. So I mean cutting the branches up for firewood, so that's good. Okay, so there's that. So that's going to go in like this. And that looks pretty. And so then when you pull it out, it's going to have that in the back. Okay. Okay. So that is one. I feel like it does need something up here. And honestly, just a piece of lace or something would be nice. Some lace or something. Let's just see what we have in the old cookie jar, literally. What do we have that matches this vibrant pink? Now, I do have some of this, but that is not lace. That is more like sari silk. Let me see. I have lots more than this, which I'm sure we all do, but I have some little remnants. You know what? Would be okay with just a little black one. So I've got that, and that for the black. I have this little ruffle. Let's look and see. Let's look and see what we have. This is a fun little, this is more lacy, which is fine. But this is cute. Like a little, I love it. I like it, like it, like it, like it. Okay, so let's use that. So I'm going to cut right here. And if I have to cut a little bit more, I can. I was saying I really like it, the black, but you know what? I kind of thinking this looks real pretty. Now, of course, we know that this is so you're supposed to sew it on, you know. And so it's going to have two flaps. So I'm going to have to glue those together and then glue the other one down. So let's do that first. Or I could just cut it off. I think I'm just going to cut it. there's no use in having all that bulk either. So I'm just going to cut this off. Cut that back piece off. There. Okay, so let's glue this. And I'm just going to do this little, okay, we got to glue that down first. Do we want it to be doubled? I do, actually. Let me hold it. Put a little glue there. I just want to tack it down enough that it's not going to flip up or do anything like that. Okay. And then I'm going to just put just a bead. Just like that. And then we'll put it on. Just like that. Okay. Okay, so now that we have that, then I can put like a little strip of something right there, which would be really cute. Honestly, I'm loving the pink. I'm loving the pink. The only thing is, it frays, so you have to catch it with your glue. Before it does. And then you just twist it. And then you want to do the same thing on the other end. So, well, I think I got it. I had glue on my finger, so that worked out good. I like that. Okay. So I'm just going to do a real light. Let's just do it as light as we possibly can. Of course, it didn't do. Come on. I don't want it to be too long. That mouth is... The mouth on this is really, it's kind of big. Oh, I'm like, where's my string? I like it. Just enough. Just enough. Okay, so that's cute. And then we'll snip this little end off. Of course, it takes that glue with it, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Let's just get this all down like that. There. Cute, cute. Okay, so then our card's going to come out like this, and then it says Frosted with Love. Okay, that's one little thing. Okay, the other thing I wanted to do was I wanted to make a little coin envelope out of another piece of paper. So let's do that real quick. Okay, so this is good. I'm probably going to put like a little something right here to be able to get this out. A little pull tab or something. I'm looking to see what I may have. I kind of want to, put something in here. This is a different pink. I don't believe that's the same color. I do have white, but I don't want white. I do have black, but I don't know. Now that we've gone white, I don't know if I want to go to the black. But I could cut one out. So let's do that. Let's see. Maybe I kind of like this. Let me see. Let me see if I have enough space. Look at that. Just right on target for that. Okay, so the sun is causing to have some shadows, but that's okay. Oh yeah, that looks cool. Let's go in the opposite direction, and I think I'll put the pink over here because that's green and yellow. Okay. Then we'll put this here. Yes, that's going to be cute. Okay. So let me do this side first. Okay. So let's see, this is 4. It's going to go right in between here. Looks good. And then I'll put some on the rest and we will fold it over. I'm gonna have to clean this up. This mat, I'm getting glue on it. Okay, there we go. So that's gonna go in like that. It's gonna have the pull tab and it's gonna be ready to pull out. That is gonna be cute in there. Okay, so there's one project. Yep, that's already drying. Okay, we'll put that up there. So now I wanna make a coin envelope with a tag that comes out. So let's see what I have. I do have this. I like it. And let me see. I do have some solids. I have some stripes. I don't have a lot of pages that have a lot of black in it, although they are kind of cool. Let's see. I think it would be funky to do this one because it's going to come out, I don't know, it's going to come out weird, but you know, the way it's, I say weird, but it's going to come out, you know, diagonal, which is going to be kind of cool. Okay, so I'm going to do 7.5 by 7. So let's do 7. And then I need it to be 7.5. So this is 6.5. That's 7. So I'm going to say that's probably 7.5. If it's not exact, we will know when we put it on the scoreboard. Okay, so this is 7.5. And I don't know, we're pretty right on target right there. It just needed to come over a little bit. And then this is 7. Okay. So what we're going to do is on the 7.5 side, we are going to score at 2 and 5.5. So we're going to score at 2 and 5.5. Is that right? Yeah, that looks right. Yeah. And then we're going to turn to the left. And then we're going to do, this is going to be the top. So we're going to do this at, I think I said 1 1/4. So 1 1/4, which is our top. And then this is the bottom. And we're just going to do like 6 1/4. That way it gives us like just a 1/2 inch or something. Okay. Yes. There we go. Looks good. I'm doing this a little bit by memory, so hopefully all that works out good. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut out the 2 notches at the top with the bigger piece, okay? So if you can see, this is bigger and this is the small one. So we're going to cut out these 2 notches. And I try to go in this way more than so that I cut out the score. I'll turn it this way so you can see. So I kind of go in from it and in from this side. Okay. And then this is going to flip up, so we need to do the same on the bottom. And I like to go a little bit more in on this one because it won't close right if there's not enough room in there. I'm just going to take that little bit out. And then I'm going to go in on this one and in a little bit more on this side. Okay, and then I'm going to round the bottoms and the tops before I do anything. So I think I'm gonna do the bigger one on the top, and then the medium one, I have to fold these in. So this goes like this, and then I'll do the medium ones on the bottom. So when I fold it up, it will. See, this, you can see one is a little bit bigger than the other, so I'm going to trim this one just a hair so they look kind of even. Nothing better than a coin pocket. And then whatever side I'm going to fold in like this, or I could do that, kind of like this one. And then this goes up. Okay, so I am just going to put a little bit of glue on the outer edge of the one that's going down first. And then I'm going to put on this outer edge so that when I close it, it is going to have it there and there, and it'll keep it nice and closed. And no glue on the inside. Nope, no glue on the inside. Okay, so those measurements again, it's 7.5 by 7. And on the 7.5, you're gonna score at 2 inches and 5.5 inches. Then you're gonna turn it counterclockwise, so to the left, and then you're gonna score at 1 1/4 and 6 1/4. And then that's going to give you your top and your bottom. And then you're going to take the 2 edges at the top and the 2 bottom left and right edges at the bottom. And then you're just going to fold this in, and then there you go. And then you're going to glue this little bottom down. Try not to get, you know, too much glue near the base so that no glue seeps through and then impedes, you know, holds on to whatever it is that you're sticking in there. Okay, there we go. That's exactly what I wanted, was just like a little coin envelope. And then we'll need to make and I think I'm going to do just a black tag that goes in here. And then I'm going to, you know, I'll put it like this, and I'm not sure what kind of decorations, but we do have this. And I could just kind of cut this out a little bit and stick that on. How about that? Sometimes if I think about it too much, it's better not to do that. Just whatever you come up with, and go with it. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to go for it and just get these cups with some marshmallows and goodies, and just fussy cut them out. And I can still use the top portion for something else. I'm not a real fast fussy cutter, so bear with me. I feel like I need to cut it, yes, so I can get in there and get around that little marshmallow. Okay, and then I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And that is going to be like a little thing in there, but I like it actually. Yeah, it looks good. So let's slap a little bit of black ink on it just to kind of cut that picture off, but hey, it looks good. Something to look at. Okay. I feel like it needs something over here, so it needs to have something there. What do I have over here that is a color? I'm okay with that too. Okay. I want it to be straight enough to. Okay. Alright, we'll put that down. I might just put just a little bit of black. Just on that white edge. Okay. Not too much. I'm not going to go crazy here. Okay, so that's 2 pieces of ephemera that I've made. That's outside of the kit of ephemera, which we're going to need a lot. So I'm going to be making, I think the next time I'm going to make some over the page little folio booklets that have some pockets and different stuff. And then I'm also going to make some around some side tucks to a page. Okay, there. I didn't even look on the back of this to see what was there, but I like the little cups with the little marshmallows. Okay, there we go. We have 2 pieces that we have put together. And I like it. I like it. Okay, and then we just need to make a tag to go in here. And I'm thinking green. I have a piece of green over here. No. Oh, here it is. And it doesn't have a back, so that's perfect. And then I can kind of embellish it a little. But I think that'll look good. Okay, so this is, let's measure it so we will know. This is 3 1/2. And this is 6 1/4. I'm kind of wanting it to stick up a little bit, so I'm going to say 7. So 7 by 3 1/4. You know I like my tags tall. If you know me, you know. So 3 1/4. We're going to be conservative on that. By 7 1/2, I think is what I said. So let's go up a little bit, about right there. Let me see. Let me see if that's too much. No, because I want to do it sideways on the page and then have that coming up. And then I've got to back this. So, you know what I have? I have my trusty. Ooh, look, that fit just perfect. Okay, so let's do that. I like to use UHU glue. UHU! For this, just a little bit. That kind of gives it a little bit of... When it dries, it just strengthens it. It kind of gives it a good, strong, I don't know, just adds to it. And then I will put a little bit of this on it too. And I'll try not to get it too much because it's going to want to bend. But I want to get the edges. Okay. I want it to be stuck down real good there. Okay, and then I'm going to just stick this here on this side of that crease. Yep, it is right perfect. Right perfect. I'm going to do it with my hand. So to kind of smush that glue in a little bit. Okay. There is that. Okay, so I appreciate you hanging out with me and while I am just making ephemera for this journal. I have a lot to do for it, so there's going to be stuff that I make off camera. But I thought, well, let's just start with making ephemera, you know, because I've already cut all the ephemera out for the kit, but it's just not going to be enough. So I wanted to, let me go this way, yeah. So I'm like, I need to just start making some stuff. So that's what we're going to do. First, we're going to bend that so we can act right. You got to act right. Okay. And let me get this bone folder out. I still have glue on my hand. That Fabri-Tac from earlier, so okay. And then that's going to go in there. Okay. That's going to be just right. So let me see what I have over here because I saw a really pretty green. Oh no, was it this color? I must have seen that. I like that. But I also like that. So let's look at both of them. Let's look at both of those and see what we have. I don't know if that's I mean, you don't want it to be matchy match, right? I kind of like that too. I kind of want this. And I think I'm going to cut it in half. So I'm going to bring it all the way down. I'm going to get me a piece about that big. And then I'm going to get... I tried to rip this one day and it just doesn't rip right. I don't know why. Yeah, see, it just doesn't. Maybe I'm just too scared or something. Well, that was cattywonkle. That's what my mama used to say. That's cattywonkle. My husband has a shirt that says, "We are the people our parents." We're the people our parents told us about? Yeah. That warned us about. We're the people our parents warned us about. Isn't that the truth? Okay, so I'm going to, I think it's dry, but I'm going to go ahead and I like the middle one on this. So I'll do the bottom and a middle. And then we're going to cut this like a tag. So I need my little, I think I put it over here. put it somewhere, but I'll use this one. That's too big. But I like that size, so let's do that. That way we can just kind of have a tag shape with that. Okay. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. And then I have to get out my big hole punch. And I'm going to eyeball it because that's what I do. But I think I'm going to bring it a little bit up to the top more than I normally do. Wasn't quite dry yet, but that's okay. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm just going to put this through. And I'm going to tie it a couple of times and make us a little knot. Just like that. Come along, little piece. There you are. Don't be shy. Okay, there. I like it. And then that's going to go in just like that on our page. And then I can add something. I think I'll put a word or something right here. Let me see what I have. Let me see what I have. What I have. I've got all these. And of course I have other words. You know, I mean, I have my whole... Now, whether or not they're Christmassy, that's another story. But do they have to be? Not necessarily. But they're all like, well, I do have some black ones, but they're more like inspire and those kinds of things. They're not like Christmassy. So, I'll have to see. Okay, so I have these. Actually, the pink looks good. So I have Sweet Treats and Snowy Streets, Jolly and Pink, a Bubblegum Winter Wonderland, or Bubblegum Kisses and Christmas Wishes. I think Sweet Treats and Snowy Streets would do good. Right there. And I'm going to just put a little bit of black on it, just so it stands out. And then when I glue it down, I'm going to do it so that I can get another little side tag in there, because I think that'll look cute. Yes, okay, that looks good. I got a mess going, y'all. I got a mess. That's okay. That's the fun of it. Okay. So I think that we can put that about... I want it. I guess I'm wanting it right there. Sweet Treats and Snowy Streets. So yeah, because there's kind of the snow and we got some sweet treats and then we have our little tag. That looks really good. And then we had our, see, we made this. Where's the other thing we made? Did I already move it? Oh, here it is. So there. That's what we made today. How fun is that? 2 little projects. I really like this one with the whole little ribbon up at the top. May do something kind of similar to this. I think that would be cute. Don't you? Just real quick, let's do that. And then that way we get some continuity going on here. Continuity. Just need a little piece. So we're going to do this. Oops. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do this. Kind of cutting from the wrong end. It's a little shorter, but it's cute. And then this is the front and that's the back. So I'm going to cut this piece off because it's bulky. No reason to add bulk. And then this one, remember we had to kind of glue that down, because if we didn't, and I'm hoping this comes out a little bit less, let me put that over here. I don't want to put that on the floor. Just put a little bit. A little bit goes a long way. Okay. And then we'll put a little bit on this. Okay. And then we'll put this right there. Let me make sure I can see there. And you can still see the stripes through there. Once it dries, you're not going to be able to see that glue. But that's cute. That is cute. Where's my string? I'll just put some string on, just like we did the other one. So it will flow. Yeah. And then let me just get a little bit of glue on my finger. And then touch, touch, touch. Touch, touch, touch. Twist. And then let me twist it this way. Okay. And then I'll just put a little bead right across them. Okay. There we go. There's my little... Stick it down. Let the glue dry. It's already drying. It'll dry clear. There we go. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so that's 2 out of the, I don't know how many we're going to have, but quite a bit. I mean 20 or more pieces of ephemera. And I think in the kit, I mean, I've got pockets and, you know, little pamphlets and things like that, but we're going to need other fun little things to add to it. So anyway, thank you for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you coming and spending time with me. And as we work on this Bubblegum Christmas junk journal, and I will see you next week. Hope you have a fabulous weekend. And remember, you only know what you know till you know something different. Bye-bye.